Okay, for this fly, I'm going to be tying a Tennessee colored woolly bugger. Forgive me if it doesn't turn out great. I'm not great at woolly boogers, but I'm going to see how it goes and see what I can do. Alright, so these are the materials I'm going to need for my Tennessee colored woolly bugger. Got my heavy lead wire wrap right here. I've got my copper wire right here for the wrap around the body and the chenille. My orange colored chenille, Tennessee Vols, and my white marabou for the tail, and my size 10 hook with my bronze colored bead or whatever color bead that is, and my grizzly hackle. So I'm going to see how this turns out. I'm not that great at tying the woolly boogers. They do tend to get bulky on me, and I'm only using a size 10 hook, so it is small for a woolly booger. But I'm going to see how it goes, and hopefully it turns out pretty cool. And I'm also going to use white thread. And it is also the cheaper thread, which is frayed out, so I've got to be careful with it. But I'm going to start it here and wrap it up toward the bead as always, and then wrap it back on itself to start the tie, and then snip off the excess with my thread scissors. And as always, I do use 2 pairs of scissors, one for wire and one for thread. That way my thread scissors don't get dull by snipping the wires. I'm going to start my lead wrap about a 1/16 of an inch back behind the bead to give me room to wrap my other materials and secure them on the hook. And I am using the heavy lead wire, not the extra heavy and not the medium. So it's not as bulky as the extra heavy, and it's not as thin and fragile as the medium. But as I'm wrapping this up on the hook, after I've wrapped my thread to the back, I want to make sure I'm pulling them tight to each other to give it as much uniformity as I can and keep everything snug, just for operation purposes, because it makes everything easier to work together if you keep it tight and nice and neat. Don't let your wraps get loose, or you will run into issues and struggle applying the rest of the materials. Now I'm going to stop at that 1/16 of an inch, stretch it out, wrap some more back here on the hook just to give it a base and to secure the lead, and then come back up the lead with my white thread and wrap several times around that lead wrap right there in that 1/16 of an inch gap. Cut off the excess and then cinch that down with my thumb and finger to make that wrap secure. Now that the lead wire is on there, I can attach my copper wire and also my chenille and my marabou. I'm going to attach that right behind the lead wraps with several wraps. Snip off the excess with my wire scissors. Bunch up my marabou, and this is white marabou for the Tennessee Vols colors, because I am a Tennessee fan. Not a Georgia fan, not a Kentucky fan. I am a Tennessee fan. Have been most of my life, since I was a kid. You're going to pinch those together, and remember to keep your thread about 1 inch to 2 inches out. That way you have more thread control as you're wrapping your flies. If you get too much thread out, that will cause you to have thread control issues, and it makes it a lot harder. But you want to attach that marabou on the hook, right there where you attached your copper wire, right behind the lead wraps with several wraps. And then you want to snip off the excess with your material scissors, not your wire scissors. I'm going to attach my grizzly hackle first. I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to try something a little fancy, and it may make it a little more difficult for me because I've never done this. But I'm going to attach 2 pieces of grizzly hackle. One in the back and then one in the front to kind of give it an umbrella look up front. But I'll see how it goes. And I probably shouldn't, because I'm not great at tying woolly boogers anyway. But, you know, it's an experiment, right? And it's something I'm doing for fun right now. It's tying a Tennessee Vols Wooly Bugger. And now I'm going to tie on my chenille, which is the Tennessee Vols color, the orange color. Time to wrap my chenille now. So I've got everything attached that I need to attach in the back. And I'm only going to try to only do one wrap with this chenille to keep the body as sleek as possible, because it is a size 10 hook. And I've left my thread in the back, not up front. I didn't take it back to the front because I want to be able to wrap the white thread up the shank of the hook with this orange chenille to give it the Tennessee orange and white look, if that makes sense. And once I get it up to the 1/16 of an inch I've left behind the bead, between the lead and the bead, I'm going to leave that chenille right there and then wrap my white thread up and behind my marabou and copper wire and grizzly hackle. A couple of times and pull it kind of tight up, and then over and around in front of the materials. And then I'm going to start the path in a spiral motion up toward the bead of the fly. Now that chenille is up there and secure, and my white wraps are around the orange chenille, I'm going to snip off the excess chenille, and it's time to wrap my grizzly hackle. I've got to dig it out of the marabou. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Oh, I'm getting this marabou everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and attach this other grizzly hackle that I would plan on trying to make it kind of an umbrella look with. Let's see how that turns out. Because I have seen some woolly boogers tied that way, but I have never done one myself like that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around the hook like I wanted to. And you experienced fly tires may make fun of me, but I'm doing this for fun, and I'm not looking up tutorials. I'm just playing with this, doing it, you know, as for myself, as a hobby, and anybody that wants to watch it. And I may even fish this one. I may catch a fish with it. I may catch an interception with it, you know. Go intercept a trout. Because I've got this other grizzly hackle up front, I'm not going to give it any more than a few wraps right there, and I'm going to secure it and snip it off. Because I'm going to do that umbrella pattern with this piece up front. And let me go ahead and do my copper wire piece. Make sure to keep your marabou pulled to the back. You don't want that causing an issue. Now that I've got the copper wire up there, I'm going to go ahead and secure it too with some wraps of the white thread. I'm going to go ahead and snip off my excess copper wire. Make sure my bead's clear of any materials, and it is. And now I'm going to attempt to make my umbrella pattern with this extra hackle I've got here. I'm trying to wrap it right on top of itself, each wrap, as much as I can to give it a layered feel to it. And then I'm going to take it up a little bit right there and then secure it with a couple wraps and try not to mash down my hackles, and then pull them back slightly the hackles right there, and wrap right behind the bead to make them lay down slightly to give it that umbrella look. Snip off the little excess that I didn't get. Yeah, that turned out wonderful. And then I'm going to finish it off with some whip knots. I can find my whipping tool, my whip finisher. And you're going to go, I'm going to do 5 for good measure. 1, 2, 3, oh, no, 3, 4, 5, and up, down, and then out, thread. Make sure we got it mashed back on the bead. It's riding high on the bead. That's okay as long as I can still see the eye of the hook. And I'm going to snip this off. Finish it with a little dab of head cement. And I got it in the clamps. I put it in the clamps. It's my little saying, man. Put it in the clamps. But here's my size 10 orange and white Tn Vols Wooly Bugger. It turned out pretty good. Much better than I thought it was going to. But I love it. And I may snip off some of the back of the marabou, but that is a beautiful size 10 Tn Vols Wooly Bugger.